Harvard is a very popular Ivy League university. It offers courses in pretty much everything from biology to psychology, but one stands out from the rest. CS50. CS50 is a CS course that gives a solid understanding of the basics and a dip into the intermediate stuff. Well, I completed it. Stick to the end for my opinion on whether you should do CS50 or not. So I made a blog creation website for my final project. Here's it in action. Hello, my name is Arjun P and I'm from... This is my CS50 Final Project. It's called Blog Creator, and you can, when you register, you put your username, you put your very secure password, and register. Username already exists because I already have an account on this. Yeah, here's 2 blogs from failed takes. Yeah. You create a blog, let's say, take 3, because that's the description. This is the title, the title of your blog. You describe your blog in the description. You put your content. You put your username, you put your password. You can show the password, you can press submit. Then I put this grid layout, so yeah, you can click this, and when you click it, it shows a modal. So take 3, I like Harry Potter. So if your blog is really long, like your content, then when it's just gonna show 3 dots, and then when you click it, it's gonna show the whole thing. So yeah, that's my CS50 Final Project. See ya. Okay, so now that you've seen that, I'll explain my code. HTML first. HTML I'll store in the templates folder because that's how Flask works. My login and register are basically the same except for the JavaScript. I'll explain later. How it works is there's a form and the form is get for the JavaScript. Again, I'll explain later. Well, letters now. So the JavaScript and CSS are stored in static, otherwise the HTML doesn't even work with them. Here's register.js. First I wait for a web page to load, then I wait for the form to be submitted. Since the form is a GET request, I stop the form from reloading, then I get the username and password from the DOM. Then it gets a little interesting. I go to a custom route that will return to me if the username exists or not. Then I parse the data. If the username exists, then I alert the user of that message. Else, I make a post request to /register to upload the user. Finally, I direct the user to /view blogs. A route is like a map. Think about this. There's the bottom of the map and a person is there. There are multiple paths for the person to go in to do different things. The person is data and the paths are routes. If I take the person to the park, they play there. If I take the person to the forest, they take a hike. If I say / on something, that is me saying I'm talking about a route and here's the route name. So the path to the park could be called Jeffrey and the path to the forest could be called Bezos. Jeffrey Bezos. The route is on the end of the website name. Also, get means to get information from the route or path, so you can ask the path something, in this case, if the username exists or not. And post is straight up you giving the server data, like registering a user. Login.js is basically the same, except I go to a different route that checks the username and password exists. Now view blogs. View blogs.html is really simple. I just make a button and a dialog and loop over a dictionary called blog. I'll explain the Python later, which ties everything I told you together. In case you're wondering, I'm not going to explain the styling because no. You can explore the styling on your own time, and styling isn't very complicated to figure out. Viewblogs.js is just showing a dialog. The way the blog closes is if you put a form with the method of dialog and put a button with type submitted, it'll just close. Nothing there to it. It's just gonna close. Finally, blog creation. Create blog.html just shows all the inputs I want from the user. Then in the JavaScript, I validate that the user exists. Then I make a post variable with the data from the post, parse it in a way that the computer will understand, and send it off for the server to deal with. Then I redirect the user to /view blogs. Okay, that's the front end, but what about the back end? First, I do my imports. Then I initialize the app, the SQL connection, and the cursor. The home root is just redirecting the user to /register page, and /register page is rendering register.html. Here's username exists for the blog creation and register, remember? I go to a custom root that will return to me if the username exists or not. I get the username here, then I do a select query, then I search all the results for the username, and I return a JSON object that has username exists or not. Then the register is simple too. I use request.getJSON instead of request.args.get here because username exists is get and register is post. Then I check if the user entered a username or password. Server-side verification is important. Then I do this SQL query to insert the username and password into the database. Here I just return that everything went okay. /login page is rendering login.html. /validate user is just username exists but checking the username and password. /createblog renders createblog.html. /viewlogs is I get all the blogs descending from their ID and I store those in the variable rows. Data will be a list of dictionaries. For each blog and blogs, I create a data dictionary and I get the username of the user who created the blog. Then I just store the title, description, and content and pin that to the data list. Finally, I render viewblogs.html with the data parameter I used in viewblogs. The last one, create blogs, is dead simple. I get the data from the request, check if the user entered the title, description, content, username, and password, then I use this SQL query to insert it into the database and commit it. Then I return that everything went alright. That's everything. Wait a minute, should you do CS50 or not? I'd say yes. If you're a developer and you want to get a deeper understanding of the basics and lightly touch on database and Flask, basically me, go for it. Click here if you want to see me learn C++, join my Discord, and this was CS50.